week 16 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few quarterbacks I look to drop this week. The first guy, Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. So surprisingly, he's still only 56% of fantasy leagues. Here's Kyler Murray, and so far they're only saying 6 to 8 months he's going to be out. So it looks like he'll be back in time for the start of the regular season or training camp next season if everything goes well here for Kyler Murray. So he finished the season with the torn ACL, 2,368 pass yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 418 rush yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and 4 two-point conversions with 2 fumble losses. So next season, Kyler Murray, probably still a quarterback you're going to draft in the 5th or 6th round of your fantasy leagues. He's going to have, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins still. Zach Ertz, I think he'll still be over there as well. And James Conner in the backfield. So a decent offense, once again, he'll be for this team. And his running ability, I don't think he'll be hesitant at all. Is Murray to go up, back out there and play the game he plays. It just was a freak thing with a non-contact injury. But anyway, right now, no reason to hold on to him in redraft leagues, even keeper leagues possibly here for Kyler Murray, because the numbers weren't all that great this season here. But the way the landscape of the fantasy quarterback's been this season, next year, easily 5th, 6th round, I think you get Murray, and he'll still put up decent numbers. But now he's a drop, especially still owned in 56% of fantasy leagues. The next quarterback I look to drop this week here, Tyler Huntley of the Baltimore Ravens. So Tyler Huntley filled in the last 2 ball games as a starter here for Lamar Jackson, and he didn't show anything. Week 14 at Pittsburgh, 88 pass yards, 31 yards rushing. And week 15 at Cleveland, 138 pass yards, and then throwing 15 rushing. So right now, Huntley, it looks like he's going to come back as Lamar Jackson. And last season, filling in for Lamar, he definitely had fantasy value, but the last couple weeks here were pretty decent matchups. He couldn't get anything going. If Lamar doesn't come back in week 16, he's just not a quarterback I could trust, obviously, is Huntley, even with a good matchup versus the Falcons. So right now, Huntley's an easy quarterback to drop this week. And the third and final quarterback I look to drop this week here is Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers. I've been mentioning him tons of times here as Aaron Rodgers, but still owned surprisingly 77% of fantasy leagues here is Rodgers, and the numbers just haven't been there this season. Pretty much averaging about 18 fantasy points per game, and that's not going to get the job done, or hasn't, for fantasy owners, unless somehow you got this far into the season with him. But week 11 versus Tennessee, 227 passing, 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Week 12 with Philly, 140 passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 windows. And week 13 at Chicago, 182 pass yards, a touchdown. So right now, he's been struggling as Rodgers. I think we could see Jordan Love in week 16 at Miami. Well, pretty much the pack is out of it with the future. And see what you got with Jordan Love, where I think he could be a decent quarterback here for this Packer team. So that's a few quarterbacks I look to drop here for week 16 of the fantasy football season.